Hey guys, Kiki here, and apparently I'm one of the newest members of the Revolution. Yay! Yes, I was surprised too. I did my audition, and when I heard Dana had won, I accepted that I did not win, or got chosen, whatever. And I went about my business, and then I got a message from Jen saying, "We've decided to go back to 7 members. Would you like to be number 7?" And I said, "Oh!" And then I might have jumped around a circle and fangirled out for a couple of minutes, maybe, possibly. Yes, so here I am. This month is Food Month. This week specifically is about diets, and there's a couple of things I kind of want to touch on. The first is that diets do not work. And I know you're saying, hey, wait a second, Kiki, I heard about this person who lost all this weight and da-da-da-da-da, and that's not what I'm saying. There had been all these people who'd lost, either by fad diets or medical procedures, things like gastric bypass or lap band or something, lost this large amount of weight. Things like Jenny Craig, or the ones where it's just like you change your lifestyle, things, and these people lost all this weight, and there's all these studies saying this thing works and this thing works, but the thing is until more recently, there hasn't been that many studies that talk about how these people that lost all this weight 5-10 years down the road, come to find out 99% of the time gained it all back. At least a majority of it. I mean, you talk about these people that, talk about famous people, either people who were famous beforehand or people who became famous for losing weight. People like Marnie Wilson from Wilson Phillips that had gastric bypass back in the 90s. Jared from the Subway commercials. I can't think of anybody else right now. They've all gained the weight back within 5 to 10 years. And I'm not saying this in the saying that you can't diet. Don't diet. It's your body, it's your life, do with it what you will, but keep in mind that in doing this is going to be a lifetime restrictive process that will require you to keep on it for the rest of your life, or you will gain the weight back, or have a good chance. And if you're one of those people who lost a bunch of weight and kept it off and you've made it past the 5 or 10 years, congratulations, you are a miracle. Find happiness in your miracleness. But you are a rarity, a miracle, something that is so rare that it's practically like sighting a unicorn. So, yes, that's kind of just what I want to say on that. Now on to my own personal experiences with dieting. I've been a big person my entire life. I hit the height of 5'7" and the weight of 200 pounds around 10 or 11, which is around the time I hit puberty. And I've never gotten under 200 pounds since then. And no matter what I did I've done fad diets, I've done diet plans, I've done pretty much everything except for surgical, and I refused to do that. My mother had gastric bypass, and I just refused to rewire my body to try to lose weight. But I did all these other things. I was extremely active. I did a lot of sports. I did track and soccer. I was a gymnast for many, 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 many years, and was constantly active. Swam, did all this stuff, and yet couldn't lose the weight to get the body that I was told I was supposed to have. And this continued until I was about 25 or 26, and then I decided I'm a complete failure. There's something wrong with me. I'm giving up. And I did it, but at that point I gained a lot of weight and got to the size that I am now, and that's when I realized is that, like many other people out there, there are a lot of people, what I consider concerned trolls, who will say, but it's about your health, you're putting your health at risk, and there are people that'll say that, but it's not about your health. No one thinks, a majority of them are not thinking about their health when this is about fitting into a mold society wants you to be. And there are studies showing now that it's not, actually your weight is not the most important thing. Not saying you can weigh 500 pounds, but saying that your weight is not the most important thing. It's your activity level that's the most important thing. So being active and putting the things in your body that are good for your body are much more important than what the scale says. And once I realized that, once I understood that health was a lot more important than me fitting this preconceived notion of what my body should be, I became such a better person in relation to my diet, and using diet in the term that Jamie was talking about, that is the food you consume. And I thought about it not about a reward and punishment system, or and don't get me wrong, I enjoy food, but I use it as fuel, because that's what it is. Well, I use it as fuel, but there's also emotional benefits to food, because there's something I see a lot, and they talk about your mental health is just as important as your physical health. And so every once in a while, I want a piece of goddamn chocolate, or some ice cream, or whatever the case may be. I mean, it's not something I eat all the time, but it's every once in a while, it's fine to have. It's something good for you. And so those things are a lot more important than me fitting into this preconceived notion of what my body should be. And so now I eat things that I find are the things I put in my body, are the things that I find are best for me morally and ethically and emotionally. And I do activities that make me happy, things like yoga and belly dance, and jogging or walking, depending on what I want to do that day, and things like that. It's things that make my body healthy, not thinking about what my body looks like, but how healthy and how good I feel. That's the things that are much more important to me. And so now I'm in such a better place than I ever was, even when I was half the size I am now, because of how I've changed my understanding of what it's about. And changing my thought process of it not being this reward and punishment system, or about restriction, or about meeting those specific, that physical look, the certain look and things like that. So yes, yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say. Thank you guys for allowing me to join the group. I am extremely flattered and adore you guys, and I will see everybody next week.